Wheels, the rapper. Album number 5. Still doing what I love. This music's in my blood. My medicine, my drug. Rhyming with my time, and that's what time spent. Staying positive in my mind while I'm on this vent. I'ma shine no matter where the sun went. If you handicapped, throw it up.
Hello.
Represent. Got hit hard with this disease.
Good evening.
It was evident. I was never out of my element. Wiser than the other band.
Welcome.
My medicine. God, I knew to let them in. That was part of my regimen. Wasn't ready to see the end. Wasn't ready for heaven. Hey, too young to be stressing. Thinking about dying. Having all these questions that I shouldn't even be thinking. My heart should have been sinking, but it never did though. Cause I refuse to sink that low. It's what you do, it's what you do with your time. It's what you do, it's what you do with your mind. It's what you do, it's what you do just to shine. It's what you do, it's what you do, how you define. It's what you do, it's what you do with your time. It's what you do, it's what you do with your mind. It's what you do, it's what you do just to shine. It's what you do, it's what you do, how you define. Every day I try because time will pass you by. Tomorrow could be gone in the blink of an eye. I tell the truth cause I don't wanna be known for telling a lie. I wanna be known for staying fly. Known for them shoes, I'm that guy. Music playing in my high school gave me a natural high. 13 years later, and them school years are gone. Can't believe it's been that long. I remember in class, waiting for the time to pass. It couldn't go fast enough. But now I see that time has passed me up. And now it won't slow down and I can't catch up. It may never match up. I just have to patch up and move on. Accept my losses and where time is gone. Where time is gone. It's what you do, it's what you do with your time. It's what you do, it's what you do with your mind. It's what you do, it's what you do just to shine. It's what you do, it's what you do, how you define. It's what you do, it's what you do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can people hear me? I did lower the music, but you never know. So let's see. Howdy do, Sonny G, SC Catahulas, George RB3, Jeff Kane, Jeff Pelham's Aquatics, Huawei Only Oscars. Ooh, quite a good crew in here tonight. So yeah, it has been a busy week for me, man. I got more done this week than I've done in probably the last 6 months. I did all of my water changes, and then I bought a FX6, and it's not going to fit in the space as is, so I have to put shelves in so I can move the snail tank over so that it can fit, the FX6 can fit underneath the 75. But that should take care of the filtration issues and the hang on the back noise issues, because the hang on the back can go away after about probably a week. So very, very good. I had to cut plywood and paint it black. It's outside right now. It's drying. I think I should be able to get her done tomorrow. I'm not working tomorrow, but I'm working on Sunday instead. And my family just got in town today, and they're going to be out at the lake. So I think I got to see my nieces and my sister today, and I took my sister to a cool record store. She she went through and grabbed a bunch of dad's old records and stuff and got a record player and has been loving like listening to records, which lots of people do. You know, she bought a an unopened Dolly Parton album. I think it was Jolene. She was very excited about that. So yeah, it's been her birthday gift for like 2 years, and I don't ever think that I got her to the store the previous year. So I was like, I'm gonna double down, and we're gonna do it this year. So she got a bunch of records and like was like freaking out at like the dollar bins. She's expanding her collection. So yeah, my nieces were part of the thumbnail this week. Very much fun. So yeah, man, I already did all my water changes for the first time in like at least 6 months before the stream on Wednesday. And I mowed the yard and I like did a project thingy. I'm still not done, but you know what I mean? Still way more than this couch potato has done in a long time. So that's going on. P2003, welcome, sir. Part of the Hive Mind, part of the South Austin Fish Room this evening. Fish Room looking good. Like I said, man, I did all of those water changes over 24 hours ago. So, you know, we've got water clarity in the majority of tanks. We'll go with that. You know what I mean? Let's see. Last week might have been on the live stream. I'm not sure, but I put some shrimp food down. I can do it again tonight, actually. And towards the end of the stream, we can see it. But the yellows were out in force. I was very, very happy with that. I believe that was last week's stream. And I did see a blue diamond or blue dream. I'm not. I got blue dream. I believe they might have given me blue diamond. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure. But those are for Grant and Shelby, and those are I believe both of my neocaradinas are from them now. The first set I bought at a hobby, and that was my first tank of neocaradinas. That lasted 6 or 7 months. I overfed the tank. Scuds took over. Planaria was in the tank as well. I didn't react fast enough, and then there was just one lone shrimp in the tank, and then I got some more. So it wasn't a total party kill, but my first set of neocaridina, I did that. I think the blues aren't doing as well as the yellows, but I did see a buried blue female 2 days ago. So we're not dead yet. Oh, fish family. What up, Big Tank Hank? Good to see you, man. Haven't seen you in a minute, sir. I'm glad you're here, man. So what have you guys been doing? Anybody got any good news this week? I broke a record this week for getting stuff done, so I'm actually feeling pretty good about that. I've been feeling pretty stagnant for a while, you know, just doing the water changes and doing what I need to do. There was a bunch of activity before Aquashella, and I took some stuff to Aquashella and gave it away, and then I've brought in some fish. I still have some fish in quarantine right now. I have a swordtail couple, and then I have some endlers that don't look like my endlers. So I think I will keep them separate or put them in the miscellaneous tank, and then I'll have mutt endlers, mendlers, muttlers. All right, Jeff Kane, you did a crap ton of walking today. Uh, oh, yeah, it is that time of year. I was worried about get too much sun on my face, popping out, and doing coats of paint on this plywood. But it's black, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lovely exterior paint with the primer in it, satin black. Very happy with it. Should serve me well in the fish room, and I did the shelf above the 75-gallon as well. So that will be set up and ready to go. I have a 30-gallon long that I got from Eddie. That's a little dirty, but there might be some coloration on the silicone on the seams. I don't know how well that's going to clean up, but it's holding water right now. It's held water for 48 hours, so uh, no problems in the move. And now all it has to do is like go into its um, new spot. You know what I mean? So it's water tested and ready to go. So I'm excited about that. Um, Big Tank Hank is eating a magnificent sandwich from Subway called The Boss. Congratulations, sir. There was a barbecue place here in town called Valentina's, and they probably still serve it. Their pitmaster left, and they have a brick and mortar, and they've moved, and I think it's under new management twice now. So it's not what it was, is what I've heard, which is sad. But I'm sure that pit boss is not going to stop barbecuing anytime soon. So I just got to figure out where he went. Um, but they had a breakfast taco called the Real Deal Holyfield, and it was beans, cheese, bacon, uh, brisket, and I believe and a fried egg on it as well. And like that's your super greasy, delicious Real Deal Holyfield. So that's what the boss reminds me of. The Real Deal Holyfield. Meatball bacon provolone. All right. Meatball pepperoni bacon provolone. All right. Yeah, man. That is a boss. The meatball is my favorite sandwich that Subway has. Oh man, that's awesome, Jeff, when you can get out in nature but still be able to live stream. That is super killer. What was I watching the other day? And I saved it because I wanted to watch it again when I was having trouble falling asleep because it was super peaceful. It was Adele. It was a collaboration of curiosities, and she was walking down a park. She was walking around a park, and then she walked back to her house, and like so I mean it couldn't have been more than a 10-minute walk from her house. And man, like it was like beautiful water and like Yeah, man, it was cool. Nice walking trails and stuff like that. Like it was just a beautiful park. And she was just walking around the park, just, talking like you do. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, this is like perfect for like a wind down video. So if you guys aren't familiar with Collaboration of Curiosities, she is one of my Australian peeps that I keep in touch with. So very cool. Juanita, hello. And then only Oscars. I don't know whether she's scheduled tonight after me or not. She did live stream last week, and I can't get enough of that freaking stingray. You know what I mean? It's just like, just put a camera on a stingray and a tank. You know what I mean? Like, I'm entertained for a while. You know what I mean? Like, so can't get enough of that stingray. Good on you, Jen. Big Tank Hank has imported some blonde yellow tiger guppies from Indonesia, and they're starting to color up. All right. That is fun, Big Tank Hank. I still have my purple Moscows. They are loving life and doing well. They're multiplying as we speak. Um, I'm currently working on taking one of the 10 gallons that I have set up right now. It's got sand in the bottom of it. One of them just has gravel, but I'll add sand to that one. But the other one is my quarantine tank. But I want to set up one of those for my client. My client was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, dude, let's do male guppies and a planet tank. I haven't had an aquarium like ever, and I think that would be cool." So we're gonna set up on the table that we sit at while we watch television in the evening and stuff like that. So it's just right there to look at. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be great. My sister just sent me a text right now because I sent her the thumbnail with her daughters on it. I took the background off of it and like threw them on the thumbnail. They were doing karate kicks and I was posing too. It was nice. Oh, Oli Oscars, you pissed her off today. The Stingray got mad when you did a water change. Agitate. Yeah, man, my coolie loaches were jumping around yesterday. Um, they did a fair they did a fair amount of that for the girls today when they were feeding the tanks. I turned the tanks on early and let the girls feed the tanks before they headed out to the cousins at the lake. So they were hey, there's a snake in there. And I was like, looks like a snake, but if you look closely, he's got little fins, man. He's actually a fish. But yeah, you're right. He moves exactly like a snake. Like you are correct. So that was fun. Answered a couple fish questions. Chloe might be coming to live with me. Chloe is a goldfish that's been living in a 20 gallon, was living in a fishbowl for a real long time. Got that taken care of. Now she lives in a 20 gallon and she's by herself. There were some nearite snails in with her. And I don't think water changes are happening over there like they should. And the uh, the response from her was positive in the fact that she would like Chloe to have some goldfish friends. And I lost a cream out of there. So once I get that FX6 in there and stuff like that, I might be moving that fish up, and then we've got another common goldfish, the best kind. I think hers was actually a carnival win, and it's just one of those carnival goldfish. You know what I mean? Like the one that survives. You know what I mean? And like lives forever. You know what I mean? Like it's really cool. So might be a little bit stunted like Phineas is, but probably not as much. I feel like she might have. I haven't seen her in almost a year now. I think I saw her last Christmas, maybe during Christmas time. Yeah, I went over to my sister's house. I saw the fish then. So, she's unsure as to whether she's going to continue with fish at this time. She might just take the tank down. Maybe her little sister wants a tank, and wants to keep some fish, but it's up to her. Well, Big Tank Hank, man, welcome back, dude. Guess what? I pretended like you never left. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, you were getting into the reptiles and stuff like that, and you're not the only person to do that. I mean, like, what? Kaler Aquatics, man. Like, he has a ton of fish tanks and stuff like that, but he's got a ton of snakes now and stuff like that too. Like, he's really gone on the herp tip, man, for sure. And there's lots of other people that have done that too. Pretty much everybody that gets up there with Bob Kaler has lizards and stuff too. Like, who am I thinking of? Thinking of Susie Q. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, y'all. Let's do it. Come on, man, participate. Going to the park and swinging. All right, Jim, live your life, girl. Like, I don't judge. Juanita, it's okay. I was 3 weeks behind, and I mean, I don't think any worse for wear. These tanks are all heavily planted, and they are all except for that quarantine tank. But that quarantine tank has been up for like 4 months. So I mean, like almost all of my tanks are like a lot of them are approaching a year old. So at least, so they are pretty stable, and it's great for all my live bears that are having babies and stuff like that, because you got all your stuff that hangs out in the moss and stuff like that, so there's stuff for those babies to graze on outside of the one time a day that I feed them. So yeah, numbers are good. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, June, you got to scold the stingray and be like, this is good for you. You want this. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, dude, you don't want to it's like a little kid that doesn't want to take a bath. It's like, no, dude, you got to, you got to take a bath. It's like, you smell like a foot. Like, it's time to take a bath. You have to take a bath. Joshua Tipton, welcome in. Always wanted to cross Gambusia with Fancy Guppy to create a huge fancy. I've wondered about that myself, Joshua, but I haven't put them together just because I see the way that they interact with each other. The Gambusia that I have were wild, and they're from Brushy Creek, which runs through the UT campus all the way down to Town Lake. And they're a lot more aggressive. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know as they adjust to aquarium life whether they'll calm down a bit, but I just see a female guppy like tearing up a fancy guppy male, you know what I mean? Like not into it, you know. But maybe not, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, you're right. Some of those gambusia get really, really big. I'm really impressed with the size of one of the gambusia. No, not gambusia. One or two of the there's definitely one that's the largest female endler in my quarantine tank. So, oh, June, man, you are in for it. That stingray, that's I mean, like you thought your Oscars were melodramatic. You know what I mean? Like just fit right in with all those Oscars you got. That stingray seems to seems to be the one comet that survives. That's right, Joshua, man. Like yeah, I've got one. That's Phineas, and that's for my little logo on my other camera on the right there. That little logo that comes up next to my name. That's a picture of Phineas, and my sister-in-law actually drew that, and I just love that. Um, I just love that guy. Hey, Surf City Sucklids, welcome in, welcome in. I'm behind, but I'm apparently catching up. Sonny G up in here. 20-pound red-tailed cat would take delivery. Oh, he would fake die every time, and would do you would do a water change. Oh yeah, he'd just like flip over. Oh man. Okay, so Big Tank Hank, like you felt like it would be an unsafe situation as well. I mean, like if you like put the female and male together and like left them alone, like you could just see what happened. But I'm just saying, like in a like you drop it into a community of Gambusia, it might not go well. Yeah, it just looked unsafe to me. I hadn't really heard anything, but I was like, these are these are two different mannerisms going on in these two tanks. I was like, I am not going to mix these together. But I do have guppies that I wasn't sure where they came from. I was pretty sure they were the um, purple Moscows, but I wasn't sure. So I put them in like it would be a fry situation and stuff like that. And some of them were endlers and some of them were guppies. So there's definitely like intermixing going on in that one tank, the one with the scuba diver's helmet. It is the left rack, middle shelf, all the way over to the right. So almost center screen. It's in that tank is where I put all of those. And that tank has a darker substrate. So the coloring on the males like is like so much better than the ones that than on my endlers that I have on that top shelf because that one's sand and it's a lighter color, so they just really like wash out and make it happen. Flip over and float to the top. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's so funny. When I do a water change, those coolie loaches start hopping around, and I don't know whether I don't know whether it's the water change itself. They start hopping around in anticipation of the water change. When I put the they start hopping around not when I take the water out. It's when I put the water conditioner in. They start hopping around, and if I don't fill that one right away, they start hopping around before I start filling it. even. So it could be the water conditioner makes them do that, or it's just the water change. But right now, all the water changes being in Texas, all my water changes are warm water changes because my garage is climate controlled. So the tanks closest to the floor are like 74, and those ones that are up on the top shelf that are right near the ceiling run about 79, 78, somewhere in there. Um, very cool times. All right, Josh, you want to know what? That would probably work. If you introduced them together as fry and then had like the colonies like as fry, like grow up together, I bet you're right. I bet you that you would have better luck. That's what I would try, man. That's a great idea, Joshua. So are you going to do it or have you just been thinking about it? Because that's something that I'm like really interested in. I think that that's a really cool idea. And that's why we do this every week, y'all. I mean, like it's for you eight. Well, I mentioned seven now, but you know what I mean. It only takes two or three of us. It only takes two or three of us in chat. You know what I mean to like make it happen. You know what I mean? Like have some good community time, exchange some ideas, talk about things. Through your experience, help me in my inexperience on some things. You know what I mean, so that we can make the best of our hobby. You know what I mean? Like if you have some advice that could save me two or three mistakes, you know what I mean? So that like I'm not like struggling. Hey man, like lay it on me. You know what I mean? Like that's fun stuff. That's how they did the Stimson sword tails in the 50s. You've been thinking about it for 15 years. So Joshua, it's gonna happen any day now. But I was thinking let's have a little bit of fun in the fish room. Let me wash my hands. Take a sip of soda. We'll see if it works tonight. It should work as long as I don't interact with the chat on the fish room, on the room cam, the one that's showing right now. I'm going to attach my cell phone to a holder that then goes on my head and looks really silly. So you guys will see that on the big screen in just a second. And then that should give me a camera. Step over the FX6 button. Wait a minute, where did I put it? All right, can y'all see me? Yes, you can see me. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Ba-na-na na na na. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. All right, here I am, and switching over so you can still see me in the fish room. No. There we go. No. There we go. All right. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? So this is the hands cam. So the female has started putting herself in the cave. The female, and there's another female right here. And all of the algae has kind of moved to the side, and this whole area is open now, and it was like way overgrown with algae. So this tank is doing a lot better, and I can see a lot more in here. So that's kind of nice. And the male is scared and smaller than the females, and he's back here usually hanging out. I don't see him though. Nope. There's the other side of the tank. My Saswashatang tank. This still a work in progress, but as you can see, like the water's pretty freaking clear. This is that tank I was telling you about that has my endlers. You see if I get over here, I always feed on this side so that yeah. So as you can see, like some of these males are really, really colored up, and I think it has to do with the dark substrate. And these are the same ones. They have the same pattern, but as you can see, it's much more muted. Like there aren't any blues, but the blues probably aren't showing up anyway. But you can definitely tell they're not as vibrant. But these are the same guys. But I have so much spiral valve just growing out of control, like in a nest. So that's got to come out. But yeah, things are looking good. Like this tank needs to be thinned out, but these guys love hiding in it. And you can see my blue gravel. Eddie's like, really, blue gravel? And I was like, I covered it with white sand. And look what happened 2 water changes later. The white sand is underneath the rocks. And that is the way it went. So yeah, let me look at the comments. Let's see how people are enjoying what we got here. Black bar. I tried to recreate Simpson swords, but got something different. Or black bar endlers. That's cool, man. Now, I bet you there's some cool stuff like that that's happened in the past. Um, and then like it's hard to find the line and stuff like that. So you can recreate what they did. I mean, we write stuff down, right? So you can see what they did. But yeah, look at this. That is a huge female. And so is that one back there. And like the males are are different. Like I'm seeing some green, I'm seeing some pink and some purple. So yeah, it's a different strain of Endler. I got these from, everything in here came from my buddy down the street who moved. So my fish crew, they're still my fish crew, but they don't live down the street anymore. So nobody's coming by to borrow clove oil anymore. But yeah, I had a male swordtail not make it, but he came in injured. He was missing the top part of his peduncle, uh, that tail fin, right up into the body, and he did not make it through quarantine. He was severely injured, and he just never made it. I don't even think it got infected. I think his injury was just that serious. Poor guy. But yeah, I've been enjoying watching these guys like quite a bit. So what do we want to see? What do we want to do? Where's the mail? I don't see him on the floor. We've been getting a lot of rain, but the water change temperature is about 8 to 10 degrees warmer than the tank. So these guys haven't been spawning, to my knowledge. You know what I mean? Like they're pretty secretive about it as it is. So yeah, all of these tanks are 20-gallon longs. All of these are 20-gallon talls. These are 10s. This is my 40-gallon breeder, 20-gallon longs along the bottom there. Like a 5 and a 2.5 maybe, or 7 and a 5. I'm not sure. 20-gallon long, and then 10 gallons here. 10 gallons here and here. And there's the 30-gallon. There's the 30-gallon long I got from Vibes. Water's doing good. Stimson swords were fancy guppy crossed with a swordtail. They look like a giant guppy with a huge dorsal fin. That sounds awesome, man. Chris's Aqua Zone. How are you, Chris? I missed Dungeons and Dragons this week. Hopefully everybody's still alive. Hi, Craig. Yeah, man. Welcome in. Welcome in. So let's get something to collect plants in. Here's an empty bucket. There's some water. I'll get us started. Let's see if I can grab some of this and like not get the guppies in it. man, there's like eyelids in here. Just brand new baby fish. Let's take about half of it. And we'll put it in the water. Looks like I got some bacopa in the mix here too. Wow, that's a good piece of bacopa right here. Let's just bury this one. Let's see how that does. Yeah, this must be like the staghorn or something, because it's definitely different than the hair algae. And it feels like a sponge in between my fingers. So am I identifying this form of algae well enough? The one that's spongy? So yeah, it ends up looking like this. It's just puffy. But I have it in my Endler tank. It's covering the whole back of this. And see, it's not like the hair algae, it stays short. This one is is the hair algae, and there's blue dream shrimp in there. So they're just keeping it fluffy and cotton candy like. And yeah, I'm gonna have to put more plants in here and maybe fertilize the tank in order to manage this. But like, this is gonna be like a long time thing. Like, I can't do this like in one weekend because the whole thing is hair algae. So if I went in there and pulled out all the hair algae, I would probably pull out a bunch of shrimp. And I'm already worried about the population as it is. And I did see a female with eggs like 2 days ago. So I'm pretty happy. Just need to keep feeding them like I am. I suppose we could bait these guys to get them to show up. So I'll put those there. Where's the other tray? The other tray's in place. You just put this. Of course, it's attached to a runner on either side. All right. Let's see. Shrimp sticks. Ladies and gentlemen, it's what's for dinner. Put that in there. Wish you would come with me. Well, all right. He got away. But I need to catch that guy out of there. He's a cull. He doesn't have any blue on him whatsoever. Look at that, right on target. All three of them landed. Okay. The yellow guys are hungry. They're already moving in. One of them's already eating. Might have just showed my butt. I'd take shrimp sticks. Turns out tofu doesn't air fry very well. Well, hey, there's only one way to find that out, right? Oh, wow. Insane platycrosses with stuff that's extinct now. Oh, man, that's cool. So, yeah, man. No movement yet on this one. Look how dark that male is. You are the purplest of purple Moscows. Yes. We'll have many children. I will provide you many females. You will live like a king. Your progeny will go to Aquashella. And I've only seen like two. I think that this Java moss and guppy grass, I might have actually grown the plants too thick in here for the oh my goodness, man down. Hmm. I nibble that a little bit, but I don't know what's wrong with my whatchamacallit fish. The goodness, the I'll think of their name in a second. I've been having this problem of late. Probably too much, probably too much housework, not enough laying around. But my rice fish, yeah. So looks like they are dying out. I don't know what happened. There is a huge snail population in there, and the plants were even fuller in there before, so I might have just spaced them out. Or there could be something going on that I'm not noticing that's not external, you know what I mean? And like they're not wasting away either, so therefore like I don't know what's wrong with them. So I'll be on the lookout for things. They've always been skittish, so the fact that I didn't see them when I came up to the tank and I only saw one or two of them like go away, I just assumed the rest of them were hiding in the moss. Well, it looks like the chat has died on that. So let's look at bristlenose babies. They're all over the place. And then there's several adults that are hiding back out a ways. And all of this bristlenose breeding has happened in here, and there's not a cave in here. So my other girl not doing well. Like, nope, not falling for it, are you, Jethro? Such a beggar. There we go. Abraham Lincoln giving us her best side right there. You gonna eat, girl? I have one female in reserve, so I can swap up these pairs if I wanted to. But these two are the only ones that are giving me eggs, but they eat them overnight. So I think they're not going to be viable because of the water. So what I need to do is I need to put something in here that I can remove so that then I can take the eggs and do them special. Don't be pushy, Jethro. Be a gentleman. Boop. Yeah, so that's what I got going on in the fish room tonight, guys. Need to get to my, keep an eye out on, oh my goodness. Why is that Endler in there? I got to put lids on my tanks so the fish don't jump around. These are my red swordtail, leertail, guys that are growing out. There's probably like 50 of them in here. And I think I'm going to give away this whole tank. Like anybody that is mailing size, like obviously the fish that are less than a half inch, I'm not going to send. But I figure that I've still got. There's so many. There's so many. There's got to be 50 in here. So I'm going to do 2 lots of 25. I think, and put them up in Skipper's auction because in 4 months I should be right back here again, and maybe at that point in time I will have an idea of what I want to do with them. But I ended up getting these guys from one of the boys down the block. And after a fish swap, he was like, "No, man, like everything I took out of the tank, I needed the space in the tank for. So if they didn't sell, like, you know what I mean, like you can have them." And I was like, "All right, buddy." So, and they bred wonderfully for me in this tank. And then I moved all the adults over here, and this one that just ran to the back has a very long tail and is lightly colored but has a nice thick red band like all the way down his side. I freaking love that guy. He's probably my favorite right now. But there's some really large pregnant females in here too. There we go. There's a blue dream shrimp. Proof of life. There's another one back there towards the back. That might be that female. Yeah, Sonny G, I really like those angels too. And man, I think it might be A plus angels on Get Gills. Um, he's he's working on like the koi. I think they're still considered gold marbles because most of them still have the stripe, but I think he's working on like a koi, but it has more black and orange than white, like less than 25% white. Yeah, man, I love it, man. They look like candy corn. Like they're like my Halloween angel. Like, and I love Halloween, so that's pretty awesome. Those barbs you saw are rosy barbs, Josh, and they have done so well for me, bro. Like, and the males are like so whoa, so colored up, they spook, but they're in there by themselves right now, and I think they need some company so they can like chill out a little bit. But these guys greet me constantly. They love the food. They're excited about it. And this Colorado goes all the way to the back and is like huge. Let me get on the step stool so you can see it from above. Like I need to like split this. I need to like split this into two and then chop the top half off because it's also really long. But yeah, look at that. Like I can't believe it's doing as well as it's doing. No, that
No,
mic
that
is
mic is
muted.
muted.
Hey guys, am I back? More wife, like what I wanted. She said, I said, wait, she told me I got the iPad mini, right? And she goes, "Oh my goodness, okay, like I tell you what I want. Do you remember the one that we got Anna when we gave her that iPad when she was like 3 or 4 so that they could have an iPad for her to hold?" And she goes, "That like foamy one, like for like babies?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, she was like, "Well, what color do you want?" And I was like, "Orange." And you want to know what? I really do love this foam like orange case. Like I've dropped this thing so many times, concrete floor in here, and it just bounces around. It's great. Well, I'm glad I'm back. I was rambling about nothing, probably telling lies because I can't remember anything about what it is. And let's do this. Let's not get that. It is now the witching hour. It is 12:12 according to the clock on my stove. The clock on my stove is kind of the one I go by. I don't care about satellite time all that much. Clock on the stove is fine. It's closer to my heart. So yeah, running out of battery on this thing, but I'm still at 18% battery on this phone, so we're doing pretty good. Less gooder, less gooder. Better again. All right, cool. Yeah, I took my headphones out, put them away. That might have messed with things a little bit. And then as I'm shuffling the phone around in my hand, might not have been as close to my face. But yeah, man, happiness. Exactly, Boots Cats. I mean, like, I have been very pleased with it. And the fact that it's made out of foam and I have that much water, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a good choice for me. I love June. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm glad because sometimes when I'm using this phone, for some reason with StreamYard, I get like robotic and staticky. And I mean, I'm rocking an iPhone 8 and looks like the microphone's up at the top of the screen, but the port that you plug in doesn't work for charging anymore. It doesn't stay connected very well. You got to really play with it, and only certain uh, only certain charging cables are I'm having any success with. But guess what I found out? The iPhone 8, which this is the first one where they started using the magnetic. You set it on the little pad and it charges. So we saved ourselves having to buy a new phone on that one. And what I've got 256 gigs on this thing. So like I can take lots of video and keep it on my phone and use it. So I'm pretty happy thus far. Exactly, Jeff. Hey June, something something Beatles lyric. Only Oscars rocking the iPhone 5. That's what, no, iPhone S. What's an S? June, I'm not sure what an S is. Like I only follow the numbers. That's all right, Jeff. Man, I'm like having trouble coming up with like basic words, basic fish knowledge. It's just like on the edge of my brain, like rice fish. Couldn't get rice fish. But I was pulling a dead fish out of the tank live. You know what I mean? So like I was a little distracted too. You know what I mean? A little embarrassed. You know what I mean? But fish happens. You know what I mean? Like but yeah, that's been going on this week, and like I can't tell whether it's an antidepressant change that I've made or whether it is the fact that I did a bunch of more than I normally do on my days off. You know what I mean? It might just be fatigue from being way more active than I normally am. But the antidepressant change comes at the same time as I do more than I've done on my days off for the first time in like at least 6 months. So it may, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I don't know what's going on, but whenever you change antidepressants or off of antidepressants or make a change or anything like that, it could take 4 weeks. You know what I mean? Before everything like mellows out again and stuff like that. I've definitely noticed more intrusive thoughts. Like it's pretty hilarious. Like it's been I've been thoroughly entertained. Like most of the time that I notice it is when I'm behind the wheel of my car and stuff like that. Like I find myself like having an internal internal dialogue about other drivers on the road. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like one of the things that had me going this past week, I was driving to work um and I'm on Mopat and uh the freeway and like the time of year it is, like it's like there's always like somebody like a truck with filled with equipment with a trailer that is questionable. You know what I mean? With a bunch of lawn equipment in it, and like we're all traveling bumper to bumper at like 60 miles an hour. You know what I mean? So, but I saw a utility van that was white, and I counted because traffic was slow enough, and he was in front of me for a while. But he's like making all these lane changes and stuff like that, and he's got 20 ladders on top of the van, like not like huge like extension ladders. I started thinking about like what does this guy do for a living? Like what kind of crew do you need 20 ladders for? You know what I mean? Like are they doing like tile work on ceilings or something? You know what I mean? But like 20 ladders on the top of this car, and I was just on the top of this van, and I was like 20. I was like, I mean 12 seems like a lot. You know what I mean? It seems you should have a couple extra ladders if you have 12, but you've got 20. Like what are you doing? But yeah, but just like questioning, like it's just like what does this guy do for a living that he needs 20 freaking ladders? You know what I mean? Like he's definitely handling some business. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely like a bid that's like $1,200 or more. You know what I mean? Like you don't get 20 ladders and you're spending $600. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I had like a whole thing going on about it, and I was like, man, it's been a while, Monkey Brain. Welcome back. Some people in Austin have said that they have felt it when they have like the one that I've heard about. Like I'm sure there've been like several, but the one that I heard about, it happened at like 9:45 in the morning my time or something like that, and like I would have been in bed. I got a 4-inch gel topper on my on my mattress in the bedroom. So like I mean, like, even if it could be felt, like, I wouldn't have. You know what I mean? Like, I was laying down. My favorite thing, laying down with a fan blowing on me in the dark. That is my favorite summer activity. And I took my sister to a record store today, and the record store was really nice. All the windows are covered with album covers, and tinted. So, the outside light was there if you look for it, you know what I mean? But other than that, it was just a nice air conditioned store, and it smelled like old records. It was pretty good. That's my jam in the summertime. Like getting in something that has a stone or brick wall and has adequate air conditioning. These are the things that I enjoy. It's getting ready to be August in Texas. You know what I mean? It's like perfect dart weather. You know what I mean? Like pub games, bowling. Yeah, but West Texas is a constant rumble. Oh Lord. Well, did we suck enough oil out? You know what I mean? Like we don't know. My local bowling alley, Westgate Lanes down here, has a coffee shop that is hemp activists, and they have CBD oils that they put into your coffee drinks should you want them. I believe it's inside of a honey that they use. And that's in the parking lot of the Westgate Lanes. And in the Westgate Lanes, they got rid of the kitchen so you can't get your bowling alley burger, and they put in a barbecue place. So now instead of the bowling alley smelling like, you know, a bowling alley, it smells like barbecue constantly. And I was like, this is an upgrade. Like I can deal with this. Like I'm very excited. Oh, Foxy. I mean, Texas has always had its troubles. You know what I mean? Like things are a little bit weird here. Like the rideshare apps didn't want to be regulated by the city, so they tried to have it voted for in the city, and then when that didn't work, they lobbied the state legislature and then got it passed and got what they wanted. And they totally misrepresented the issue in every rideshare, and that was on the back of that was in like every rideshare that I took. And I was like, that's not what this is about at all, but okay, guys. So yeah, Texas is a little weird like that. Yeah, I mean things are weird everywhere. I mean, like we can all agree with that. But the weirder that it gets, the more secluded I have been making myself. And the less I go out, the less I hang out with other people, the less I hang out in crowds. I do two fish events a year. Other than that, like it's family time. You know what I mean? Like I think my wife and I might go uh do some sightseeing of like different locales. Like I want to go stay in the desert at some point. I definitely want to do mountains as well. We've done the beach a lot. But there's better beaches than the Gulf Coast for sure. But that's what that beach has always been for me. The beach has always been Galveston. You know what I mean? And the Gulf Coast has a gray wood, like weathered sort of look to it. You know what I mean? And like I'm into that. You know what I mean? I'm not so much interested in getting in the water anymore. But I do like fishing a lot. So like I when I've been going down to Galveston, I have been fishing on the pier and like stacking sand trout and doing a fish fry when we get home. You know what I mean? Like still costs more than the fish that we catch, but we have a good time. Yeah, and so the name of that park that you were in, Jeff, was the Copper Falls State Park. Oh wow. Yeah, it's been humid here too. We've been getting lots of rain. Everything's green here in Austin. Like there's clover all over my yard. It's green. The sides of the highways are green. There's green grass growing up in all of the sidewalk cracks in South Austin. And usually all the grass is brown at this time of year. I think the highs have been like 94, 95, and like we get up to 105, 110 on the regular. So like this is this is one of the best summers that we have had here in Texas. And my sister said the same thing for Houston. I don't know what's going on in Dallas as much, but I would assume that it's more of the same. Yeah, Austin is still very humid. Lots of people would say that it's humid, but it's definitely drier than the Bayou City of Houston, like for sure. First class fish, welcome in. Okay, Craig. So yeah, so you're noticing that it's been colder than it normally has been where you're at. And you're in winter right now because you are on the other side of the earth, the underside, the better side, some would say. I wouldn't say that, but I mean, like I'm a native Texan, you know what I mean? So if it wasn't Texas, I'd say Australia second for sure. Yeah, Craig, what fry you got going on? You got some. Yeah, that's right, Craig. You have been wearing a shirt for a few months. That's true. So Craig, with your new setup and stuff like that, is your fish room area, is that climate controlled? How are you keeping your fish tanks warm? All right, so yeah, 24 is like room temp. right? Okay, so you do have heaters in most, and that helps the ones without heaters as well. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey man, everybody gets confused easy. So is there another stream coming up? For now, it's time to say goodbye. I love you guys. Thank you all for coming out. You guys make my life better. I seriously didn't want to miss my stream tonight. I told my sister, I was like, "Hey, Angie and I are gonna come out to the lake tomorrow and hang out. So we'll get up and head out to the lake. You guys go on ahead tonight, get settled in, have fun with the cousins, and we'll see you guys in the morning." And that's great because I definitely wanted to do the live stream. I didn't want to. I would have missed it for my family, but I really do enjoy you guys. And most weeks I don't have family in town, and I'm not going anywhere to go do anything. So, um, to my online friends, I love interacting with you guys in this way and interacting with you guys in chats and other live streams and through comments on people's videos and stuff like that. And this is how I prefer to hang out nowadays. And thank you guys for being a part of that. Good night. You guys have a great night.